What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome back to Park to Prem here with Towel or Town. It's episode number 26, and the pressure mounts. Yes, you can see this inbox item here, and this is going to act as a little bit of a segue to a few different points that I would like to talk about to start today's video. First and foremost, the date in the top right corner is the 3rd of December. We had a run of games that I anticipated us to do very, very well in. As you might be able to tell by the fact that we currently sit 4th in the league, it's not gone as well as I hoped it would, and I mean, they say pressure's mounting. We lost 1-0 in this game against Billingham. It was actually a few games ago. We're lying in 5th. Fifth to me seems pretty good, but obviously the media expectation is higher, the board expectation is higher, and the fans, their expectations are higher as well. You can see if we just look at our overall summary here, our job security is just secure. A B-, and obviously we've had disappointment in cup competitions. There is no getting away from that. But we're not doing terribly, and if we just look at the league table, we currently sit in 4th. Today we're taking on Gateshead. It's the second time we're going to play them in the league. If we lose this game against Gateshead, they will pull 12 points clear of us, with us having one game in hand. But at that point, I feel like we're waving sweet goodbye to any hope of automatic promotion. We absolutely have to beat Gateshead. But just looking at their recent form, they are just on an insane winning run. We need to try and stop them with this run as fast as we can. You can see they've won their last 7 league games in a row. On the other hand, for us, if we just look at things, it's just been a horrible mixed bag. Of course, we took on Chippenham Town in the FA Cup. And from there, we've played a good chunk of games, 11 games. Originally, I was going to do the game against Matlock, who were doing quite well at the time. We were due to play them on Saturday the 12th, but then the game against Horsham got postponed by 2 days due to a waterlogged pitch. You know, it's that time of the year in England where in the non-league games do get rained off, and that kind of adjusted the schedule. So as a result, and because of the way our form was going, I was of the mindset of, let's just plough through to this Gateshead game and see where we're kind of landing. And a mix between the fact that my job security doesn't seem that great and the fans are getting on my back, and the fact that there's a certain team that I've had an eye on for a while and they're still attracting me. I have to talk about it. It's Bolton Wanderers, folks. They currently sit bottom of the Vanarama National League. If we were to get promoted this year, and at the moment it looks like it would have to be via the playoffs, we would be in the same league as Bolton. They are currently bottom of the Vanarama National League, having had 3 relegations in the last 4 years. They are on course to have a 4th relegation in 5 years. Oh, it would be such an interesting save. They must be, I mean, their finances are insecure. They've sold off their youth facilities. They had a takeover that only happened in March, 9 months ago, and already their finances are insecure again. There is this nagging voice in the back of my mind that as I see Bolton in freefall, it says, Jack, just go and save them. Go save Bolton. And I know for some people that you've fallen in love with Towlaw's the team for you, and I appreciate that, and I would look to bring over as much of the Towlaw faithful as we could to Bolton. But in the bigger picture, this save game was always started as a save game where we would move between clubs. That was the point, Park to Prem. I did a series like this before called Tracksuit to the Top back in FM16. And it started at Lewis FC in the tier that we're in now, I want to say. I'm pretty sure it's the tier that we're in now. And I never left Lewis. And it always I always wondered what if I had moved clubs, because that was the initial premise of the save. And I am sat now thinking Bolton would be a really interesting move in terms of the overall story of a managerial career, you know, and makes a splash in non-leagues and a fallen giant. And I say giant loosely, but Bolton have in the last 20 years played European football. For them to now be on course to be playing in the 6th division of English football, it would be a project, and I feel like it would be a very interesting one. And I know that's going to split a lot of opinions, and I know there'll be people who say maybe you could do both. You know, you could go off and play as Bolton and also do Towlaw on a separate save game. I don't have time to juggle 2 save games like that, and I would never do 2 saves that similar on YouTube. But yeah, the seed is in my mind. The seed of Bolton would be a project that could be really interesting. And additionally, it's very rare that in my FM playthroughs I end up going to a club who just aren't doing that well, a team that's struggling, a team that actually need fixing. Usually, you know, you start at the start of a season, Not saying I would leave before the end of this season. I would like, ideally, to finish this season. I'm having to keep an eye on it. Bolton haven't sacked their manager yet, but if it did come up, I don't know. I don't know what I'd do. I'm sat with my hands on my cheeks kind of thinking, and at this point I'm just thinking aloud, really. Anyway, I do want to, before we go any further, because this has completely slipped my mind, thank you guys. We hit 100,000 subscribers on the channel this weekend just gone. Obviously, we didn't have a video up yesterday on Sunday. I'm thinking that from this point onwards, I might take Sundays or Saturdays as just a day off from doing videos. It gives you a chance to catch up on episodes if you've fallen behind. And, well, at the rate that we've been getting through seasons in about 8 episodes, roughly on average, slightly less actually, and that's working out at me playing through a season every week. A season for me in Football Manager takes about 20 hours. There's 7 days in a week, so I'm playing close to 3 hours a day on average. I have a full-time job, and I have to record the videos as well. It's a bit of a juggling act, but I am feeling like 6 videos a week might be more manageable, as well as just thinking ahead to potential burnout. But yes, 100,000 subscribers, absolutely crazy. Apologies there wasn't a video yesterday, and we've got a Q&A coming up next weekend for 100,000 subscribers, and I want your questions in it. So if you go to my YouTube channel, there is a community tab, and there is a community post there for you to leave your questions in. So if you've got any burning questions for a Q&A, please put them there. Don't leave them on Twitter. Don't leave them in the comment section of this video. And if you see any other questions that have been posed in that big community post, feel free to thumbs up the ones that you would like to see me answer. There's a few that have come up around my job and stuff. I'm not going to talk about that. You know, it seems counterproductive to talk about my full-time job in a video that's seen by thousands of people, be it good or bad stuff being said. I mean, yeah, I feel like that makes sense, and most people can appreciate and understand that. Anyway, I'm rambled on. I'm a bit frazzled because of this. We've been very good defensively. We've kept a lot of clean sheets. In fact, you might have noticed it. Harker in goal has 12 clean sheets in 25 games. That is the best in the league. And yet, you look at this form, and there's just not a whole lot of green in here. You can see we started off, following on from Chippenham, with 3 games unbeaten to end the month of October. A 1-0 win against Wokinton, a 1-1 draw against Dunstan, and then we beat Whitby Town 2-0 in a game where they had 3 sendings off. Yes, I thought the game was going to get abandoned there. From there, we've continued on, and well, in the league, we continue to get more draws. Cliff Row was never going to be easy. Stafford Rangers, we drew against 0-0 at the start of the season. They were predicted to do well at the start of this year and haven't done particularly well at all. So that was a disappointing draw there. We did continue our little cup run in the Alam Turvey Cup with a 6-0 win against Horsham. We beat the other Horsham team 9-0. So, yeah, we just don't like Horsham, really. Anyway, following on from that, you can see we took on Altrincham, a good little 1-0 win, but again, not getting a whole lot of goals in this run of league games. We then kept another clean sheet, a 4th in a row against Bamber Bridge, but failed to break the deadlock ourselves. Against Billingham Town, a 1-0 defeat. Grantham Town, I thought we'd bounce back. I thought, yes, the goals are flowing again. You know, having not scored in the previous 2 games, I felt like a corner had maybe been turned. It absolutely hadn't. In our most recent game, we lost, as you can see here, 2-0 against Matlock, who are in 7th in the league, but nevertheless, we should really be winning that. You can see how the league is lining up right now. We're currently in 4th, but it is incredibly close from Matlock, really, in 7th, all the way up to Radcliffe in 2nd. We do have a game in hand on some of the teams above us, which, if we were to win, would see us go into 2nd. We would be 2nd and 6 points behind Gateshead, who we play today. If we fail to get a result against them, we are in deep doggy doo-doo, and there would be a problem that we need to overcome. So, let's get into this game against Gateshead. We've got a pretty strong team at our disposal. We have had a few little injuries with players picking up knocks. I think that can go some way to explaining our general lack of goals. Leighton Stewart was out for a few games. Defensively, we've not been at our best. I've had to rotate things a little bit for today's game. Alex Evans is coming in alongside Younger. And, well, Evans so far this year has actually been one of our top performing centre-backs. Meanwhile, Rodri, if you were wondering about him, suspended from today's game. Not ideal. And of course, if you're following me on Twitter, you already know this. And if you're not following me on Twitter, you absolutely should be. Sonny Best tore his bloody knee ligaments. He's out for 2 to 4 months. He's lost all bravery. It's a problem. Yeah. I mean, you can... I felt like crying. I'm going to say that was the reason I didn't upload yesterday. But yes, I tweeted out about this. And of course, if you're not following me on Twitter, it's at WorkTheSpace. And over there, I do post little, stuff about how the save game's going, ahead of schedule. Additionally, we do also have a Discord channel, which is linked in the description of videos. Discord, if you're not familiar with it, it's like Skype, I want to say, but more for communities, although you can use it to message friends individually. It's tailored mostly towards gamers, but I do have a Discord channel there where I do post little stuff going on off the pitch. So if you want to, see what's going on, or alternatively talk with some other people who like playing Football Manager, the Discord server's a pretty good place to go to, have some discussion, find people for network games, ask for advice on contracts, that kind of stuff. Anyway, we're playing in our iconic away kit, the blue and red. It's a weird look, isn't it? I'm still not overly convinced by it. But away from home against Gateshead, we need to win here. Leighton, you've got to bang that in. I want to blame it on rustiness because he's been out injured. But the bottom line is, he has to score it. He absolutely has to score that. A golden opportunity. Now the ball whipped in. Younger can't keep the chance alive. Just going to rescale my Football Manager window. So if you don't know, I play Football Manager in windowed mode. I just noticed in my recording, I've scaled the window slightly by accident. Peskily clicking on the side of the screen and screwing up. Anyway, if you were annoyed by those little black pixels down the right, I've fixed them for you. If you hadn't noticed them, good. I'm glad it wasn't annoying you. Oh my gosh, it's offside. I was about to say that's the most insane pass and finish. It was offside. Oh my gosh. Leighton, who picked out this pass? Midgley, the left back. Who does he think he is? Roberto Carlos with that pass. Unfortunately, Stuart didn't quite time his run right. I'm not entirely convinced. Had he been onside, he would have been able to get on the end of the pass anyway. I mean, the good news is, all the highlights seem to be us in their half. The bad news is, it's 0-0 after 21 minutes. And Gateshead have looked menacing. They beat Blythe Spartans recently 5-1. As it falls to Harrison, we'll take that. Kumwenda has been given the assist. I can't work out, I guess he cushioned down a little header. Not the kind of Kumwenda thing I would expect. But Harrison there at the back post, a player who, let's be honest, I've criticised constantly as just the winger who doesn't really quite deliver. Maybe he's about to deliver here. That's a nice little goal. It's actually his 8th of the year, which is a pretty good return. Maybe I've been overly critical on him. We now have a corner. Boxall whipping it in. Back post headed away. Alex Evans to maybe keep the chance alive. We find ourselves ahead against Gateshead. Am I right in thinking that we were beating them 1-0 earlier on in the year, then had a sending off and lost 2-1? I think we are. Or I am correct in thinking that. We need a second goal here, basically. Has he Rabona'd that? He has Rabona'd it. It's Harrison, why did you Rabona that, you absolutely nutty geezer? He isn't going to get the assist. If secondary assists were a thing like in ice hockey, you'd have it. I need a better camera angle. Behind goal? Oh, I need it for replays. Behind goal. Did he Rabona this? This is the critical question. Why would you do... why would you do it? Not even Mad Harrison. He's got one. His confidence is high. Who am I to criticise him? Who am I to criticise him? Oh my gosh. Why is the high... I've changed it off behind goal. This is my life now. This is... I'm going to blame the camera. Replay camera director. Oh, it's because I changed it here. I'm not smart. I did screw it up, everyone. User error. Panic over. Mullen whipped it in. Roberts on the volley. Harker, could he have done a little bit better there? I'm going to say yes. It's 2-1. We crumbled against these once before. Let's not do it again. They've got a corner. Not like this. Turns heads it over. And this game feels like it may well have turned on its head. We are in trouble. 10 minutes to half time. I've done a little shouty shout and annoyed a few players, so it wasn't a very good shouty shout. Looks like it will be 2-1 at the break, just about. We have been the better team, I do think, but there's room for improvement. You can see, had less of the ball, but plenty of shots. Gateshead, though, they are causing us some problems and a bit of a headache here. A win here would be huge. We'd close the gap on them to, 9 points, I want to say, but with a game in hand, it could be as few as 6. As Stuart, lovely build-up play there. Unfortunately, the finish was lacklustre. 2 clear-cut chances, 5 half chances. We've had this very often recently. You might have noticed it in the live comms. It feels like there's a lots of games where we perform well and then we just get caught out once. Mullin whips it in. Drennan even, their star striker. What a tackle that is. Just as a reminder, Drennan, by the way, how mental is this guy for this division? He's 19. He started at Gateshead. Can I get a player this good, please? Nuts. Absolutely nuts. But we've kept him quiet so far today. 20 minutes left. I feel like I should just make changes. Kumwenda has got an assist. Stewart's got an assist as well. You know what? I'm going to take off Stewart. I'm going to bring in Akeem Rose. David Connolly at right back is struggling. So I'm going to bring in Akechi Anya. Just as a reminder, yes, I did sign him. I don't remember if I ever acknowledged signing him. 34 years old. He's already agreed to retire at the end of the year. He's just a bit of squad depth. He's our third choice right back. But in a situation like this where David Connolly is struggling for fitness, it feels like maybe the experience is what we need at the back. Get him in there. Scottish international, multiple caps. And well, there's only 5 minutes left. Let's make another sub. Why not? I am going to bring in Jermaine Anderson. I'm going to bring him in for Boxall. It means we lose our set-piece specialist, but we do get Jermaine, who's just a little beaver in the midfield. He just likes to run and run and run. Beavers don't really run, do they? They're just more work rate and stamina. What's an animal with good stamina that runs lots? Gazelle's more jumping. Horse? Well, workhorse. That's just literally like an expression. He's a workhorse in the midfield. Although, again, that isn't really quick. Horses are fast, though. Where am I going with this? We need to defend here. There's 4 minutes left. They're on the offensive. Younger, I don't know what that pass is, but it's somehow fallen away. Run, Akeem. Run, Akeem. You're clean through. Tight angle. Can he finish it? Did he square that? What is happening? What is happening? What is happening? They've got it clear. There's a guy down on the floor injured. It's pandemonium down here on the pitch. That's a throw-in. What are we doing here? Are we giving them back possession after an injury? I guess we probably are. Either way, bizarre to look at. It's how the highlight starts. Roberts with the ball here for them. Plays it inside to Eastmans. Flanagan on the left. Can we stop him getting the ball in? No, but he does blaze his effort over the crossbar. And we're let off the hook just a little bit. 5 minutes out of time, boys. One last little push. 30 seconds left. Don't do this to me. Harker holds on to it. That should be game, set and match. As we give it to Harrison. I mean, let's go get a third, boys. Why not? Just don't give away the ball here, Midgley. Don't do anything silly. That'll do. I think we're going to get the win, and this would be a huge win away from home. Gateshead have lost 1 game all year. Have I jinxed it? That's outside the area. He might get a sending off for that, but if he does, I'm just going to applaud him. Midgley, you absolute babe. You absolutely had to do that. Mighty Midgley, they call him. Right, Akeem Rose, you're now a left back. Happy Christmas. There's no time left, ref. Just blow up. Quality professional foul. They don't score the free kick. I mean, Midgley, man of the match. Give him that's a very rare occurrence in Football Manager to have a professional foul in the last minute of the game. What a win that is, though. We were not favourites for that game. Gateshead had been cruising at the top of the table. And if there were doubts about, are we good enough to win this league? Are we good enough to actually compete with Gateshead at the top? I feel like we've answered them. I realise I've said Gateshead have only lost 1 game this year. That's actually a lie. I think they've lost 8 now. They've drawn 1. That's where my confusion came from. But yes, they've drawn 1. Interestingly enough, here you can see we've lost 5. Radcliffe, on the other hand, lost 2 all year. 12 draws, 13 wins. It's a bit bizarre at the top of the table, but that result for us does close the gap now to 6 points, and we have a game in hand still. Okay, I was getting confused with my numbers. So yes, if we can win our game in hand, we're just 1 fixture away from catching them. And I think it's worth mentioning, 42 games this season. There's not actually that many games left of the year. 16 games left to be played. It is incredibly tight, though, at the top. You can see Matlock now to us, 2 points in it. They've got a game in hand as well, Matlock. If they were to win that, they could leapfrog us. It's just incredibly, incredibly competitive up at the top here. Gateshead, a little all out on their own after their recent run of forms, but we've crushed their spirits there, and hopefully now a few of the teams can do us a favour. You can see they've got a few cup games coming up as well, so maybe they can distract them. We are in the FA Trophy. We've been drawn against Bishop Stortford, who, if I'm not mistaken, okay, they've been relegated. I was going to say they are like quite a good team, but you can see here they got relegated from the Vanarama National South in 16-17. They've been relegated again just last year. So we should dispatch them in the FA Trophy to start things off. In terms of upcoming games, we have got Gateshead in fourth. Gateshead? No, not Gateshead. We've just played Gateshead. Gainsborough in fourth. I don't think we'll do the game against them just because it's only in 4 games' time. We may come back for the Matlock game, although actually Radcliffe, 14th of January. That could be a huge, huge game. With how close everything is, though, you know, the standings and such could change quite quickly between then and now. But given the fact they've only lost 2 games all year, they feel like quite a good team to come back and live com against. And, if I'm not mistaken, we already lost to them in a live com, so I want some revenge. But anyway, guys, that's going to be all from me today. Let me know what you think of the Bolton conundrum. I know there's lots of people who are going to go, you know, Towlaw for life, but the fans don't like me all the time. I don't feel appreciated at Towlaw. And there's something about fixing something that's really, really broken in a Bolton Wanderers team that must have all kinds of issues off the pitch that is somewhat of an attractive prospect. I would love to know your thoughts on the job, if I should take it, if I shouldn't, all that stuff. If you've enjoyed today's video, please do drop a like on it. I'll see you guys again soon. Make sure to post on my community tab on my channel some questions for the Q&A. And that's all from me today. Thank you for watching, folks. I'll see you again tomorrow. It is me, Jack, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.